fact that you guys were dealing with a lot more songs with the album, how different was it otherwise than working on an EP?
It was a lot faster.
Yeah, it was.
Yes. We had 6 weeks to record the whole album in comparison to the EP, which obviously, like, we didn't really have time constraints, but we worked on it for about 2 years.
Yeah.
All up. So recorded some of the EP, then scrapped some, and came back, and yeah. Whereas the album was really tight time constraints, and I don't know. I personally kind of liked it like that. But
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, we just like got in a zone and
yeah.
smashed it out as much as
Yeah.
we could.
And Aaron booking Desna, was he the number one choice as producer?
Yeah, he actually was like on the top of our dream list of producers that we started putting together like a while ago. And our manager just like emailed his management and we got a response, and he said he wanted to work with us, which was like pretty amazing.
And did you record together as a band, or do we part separately?
We did all of the sort of basic tracking for each song. We recorded live as a band in the main hall at the Future Past Studios, and then we went back over it and added, you know, different layers of vocals and guitars and atmospheric synths and stuff like that over the top.
So did the songs change much from when you brought them into the studio to how they ended up?
Yeah, a few of them are kind of just exactly how they were, with a few minor changes. Obviously, like, the sounds are different, but some of the arrangements are exactly the same. But then there's other songs where we like completely took them apart and just started again and co-wrote a couple of songs with Aaron. But yeah, a lot of it is kind of what we took in as well.
Yeah. In the iTunes age, people sort of download what they want in whatever order they want. How much discussion was there about the order of the songs on the album?
Oh my god.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot. We changed the order a couple of times.
I think we've always thought of this album and still think of it as an album that we want people to sort of sit down and listen to as a whole in the correct order. You know, it's not the kind of album where you could just pluck a song from it here and there. So we did put a lot of thought into the track listing and the flow of the album and how, you know, each of the songs relates to each other.
Yeah. Looking at your social media, there's some photos of some pretty nice guitars. What did you use on the album?
We used a lot of different things. We used a lot of Aaron's guitars, as well as our own. I play a Les Paul.
Yeah.
Fenders.
I used Aaron's, was it a 72 Telecaster, pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
But also, I think I used mine for a few of the songs, and he used his Firebird, which was...
And I was playing an amp that belonged to Arcade Fire, which was pretty amazing.
He had the most beautiful amps, and like, just all the gear was just amazing. Like, the tones, you didn't really need to use pedals for much of it. It was just like the amp and the guitar did all the work.
What about acoustic guitars? What were you using?
What did we use? We used one of Aaron's 12-string guitars. It was a National guitar. It wasn't from the band The National, but it was the brand National, which is on a lot of the songs. It's like just a subtle sort of texture throughout a lot of the songs.
And the Nashville acoustic was on a few.
Yeah.
And then there was Aaron's on a Guild.
Yeah, the Guild.
Aaron had a beautiful acoustic.
Yeah, apparently it was Aaron and Bryce, or maybe it's Bryce's, but they like fight over it because it's really good to record with. Yeah. And it sounds amazing. And
So,
just,
playing this album live now, do you need to rethink your gear and your stage setup and all that sort of thing?
I have.
I have a little synth now, which is fun. We've changed the setup quite a bit.
We had to add. So Mark's got 2 synths now, a Mofo and a Nord, and then...
Yeah, the Mofo is what we used on the album, so that's like a genuine like replica of the sounds, but a lot of the acoustic sort of textures we can't really replicate as much. I guess like there's a lot of layers that you know, we have to decide whether it's, you know, we can actually
choose.
have enough hands to
Mm.
to do it. So yeah, there's a few things that we can't really do on stage.
So is it still a work in progress? You're still sort of
Yeah.
tweaking
Yeah,
things as you go?
I think it's sounding pretty good, but I think there's a bit of
Yeah, like
a way to go.
we could use an orchestra for some of the songs.
Yeah.
Because you're now an international band, you play overseas a bit, and your music's released overseas. Do you just start looking at the sort of the smaller things, like with your stage show, what you wear, what you say? Do you discuss that sort of thing now?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
do.
Like in terms of what we wear, I think it's just a natural sort of progression. Like in the beginning, I think we were very confused about our identity.
It was
and
so confusing.
Yeah,
If you
we
walked
were-
into a gig.
we would wear a lot of like really long florally dresses and like, but I think at the time that's kind of what we liked.
But
But
like,
I just
you might have been wearing that, but I would be wearing
Yeah.
like a t-shirt with like and like jeans, and then Annie would
And
be
I
wearing
was,
something
like-
really quirky with like a little bow in it. I think
yeah.
someone said like, you know, you should look at changing.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
I think now it's
Yeah.
just like whatever's comfortable and feels
Yeah.
natural, and what we can wear without having to be thinking like, oh god, what am I wearing while you're playing? Because you don't want to be thinking about it.
yeah.
But in terms of like banter and things like that, I think it's good just to have like a structure, obviously, with your set list, just so you know how much time between Liz changing guitars or whatever to interact with the audience and things like that. But you also want it to be natural and not sounding really rehearsed and like
Yeah.
A lot of good bands dream of going overseas and playing and just don't get there. You guys have got overseas and done some pretty amazing things in a fairly short time. Apart from the quality of your music, what other factors do you think have got you to where you are?
I think having a really strong team from the get-go, people who really believed in us, was, I mean, an incredible kind of tool to have. Yeah, we were really blessed to have a really incredible agent who kind of just threw us into pub gigs for like a couple of years and just made us, you know, work really hard. And yeah, but I think team.
Yeah. And like having a plan, I think is really important. Yeah. And kind of, I don't know.
I guess
like-
just doing it, like I guess the first overseas gigs that we've done have been a lot of showcases, so things like CMJ and Great Escape, which are pretty full-on hectic experiences where you just go, like CMJ, you go to New York and we played like 7 gigs in 6 days or something, and it was so hectic, but you just have to do it and yeah, give it your best.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we are so lucky that we have the opportunity to go overseas, because like you said, there are so many bands that we know as well, like who just haven't got the opportunities that we've got at the moment. And yeah, I think sometimes it's like you feel a bit guilty, or like, I don't know, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, we're just gonna ride it because we're so lucky, and we just want to work hard and yeah, just be as good as we can be, I guess. And yeah.